Hey everybody, today I want to show you what I consider to be the sweet spot for glute injections. Now, for those of you that are on testosterone replacement therapy, usually it's recommended that you inject in the glute because it's the sort of fattiest area to do the injection, you know, a nice big piece of muscle there, but this is for anyone that needs to do a glute injection. Now, typically, when you do a glute injection, the doctors and the professionals will recommend that you divide, if you have to look at your glute from the back, you divide it into 4 sections or 4 quarters, and then you inject in the top outer quarter of the glute. So I'm going to put a picture up on the screen here so you can see what exactly I'm talking about. And you'll see I've got a picture of the glute. I've divided it into 4 segments, and you can see I've numbered with the number 1, this section the professionals usually recommend that you inject in. Right now, that's quite a large area. Even that one little quarter over there that you have is quite a large area, and as you can see, there's quite a bit of area that you can inject into the glute. So what I want to do today is more of a personal preference. This might not be exactly the same for everyone else out there, but I thought I'd just share it with you in case it makes your glute injections a lot easier and a lot less painful. And always, you know, as always, discuss with your medical professional, your doctor, where exactly you should inject. But this is more of a personal case that I thought I'd share with you in case it helps you. So you can see the glute is divided into 4 sections, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to show you, I've color-coded 2 sections within that quarter that kind of splits the area into 2. So you can see you've got sort of the top area, and which is in like a red color, and then the bottom area, which is in like the blue color. Now, when you do a glute injection, right? Now you can just imagine, I might disappear from the screen, but when you do a glute injection and you actually have to twist and look back at your own glute, right? So for example, you know, you've got to try and look over there. You've got to try twist and look at your glute. It's hard to sort of visualize and imagine, you know, exactly where the lines are so that you can sort of choose a quadrant or a quarter where you need to put the syringe or the needle in. So the way that I found works the absolute best, and it relates to this picture that you see on screen here, is I clench my glute muscle before I actually select the spot where I'm going to inject. So what I do is I will clench the glute, and you see it'll sort of bulge up a little bit, and it makes a nice sort of round area where it's all clenched in, and it sort of sucks in, like it's really the muscle showing. And then what I do is I pick the top outer area of that, and I rub that with a little bit of an alcohol swab so that it's wet and I know where that spot is, and then I just grab my needle and my syringe, and then I inject into that spot. And what I have found, if you look at the graph or the picture on the screen here, is that it tends to be in that blue region that I've illustrated on the graphic in the outer quarter, which is marked with the number 1. So normally when people give injections, they tend to go more for the red area, which is a lot higher up, and I don't like that area. I've found, and I do tons of glute injections, so this is coming purely from my experience, I found that area tends to be not as soft, the skin tends to be tighter, and when I inject in the upper side over there, it tends to be a lot more painful, right? That needle stings like hell when it goes in there. However, when I do the sort of glute clenching test that I do, I tend to come out with the area more towards the mid to lower section of that quarter, as you can see in the blue area. And when I inject there, because it's a lot more fleshier, it's a lot more maybe fattier, and it's a lot more prominent and it sticks out more, I find the needle goes in a lot simpler there. I haven't really had any sort of, I haven't hit blood when I go in that area, and it's just less painful. It's a lot more pleasant to do the injection in that spot. So that's really all I wanted to share with you today, is that if you are doing glute injections and you normally sort of inject towards the upper outer region, maybe try doing the clench test, see where that sort of rise is, and then imagine where the quarters are and try inject a little bit lower there. Make sure that you don't move towards the inside of your butt or too low on your butt. But what I'm talking about really is if you imagine the quarters, likes on the screen there, as you see in the blue area, that's really the spot that you want to be aiming for. So that's it. That's my personal preference. Maybe it works a little bit differently for you guys. So I'll be keen to hear what your feedback is. If you have a special spot in that region that you find is a sweet spot for your glute injections, let me know. But until next time, talk soon. Stay strong.